Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are, welcome back. And I'm just heading to my fish farms there to understand what's really popping out. But the things are as normal as possible, as everything is just moving from one position to another. And here we are passing through the villa to understand what's really popping out here. And gonna be having a village report. I have to pass every time. I saw one of the gentleman here talk about he's called himself Steve J1. I saw him here, and everything is possible as far as we are in concern, as I'm just getting to understand internally what's really popping out inside here in the corrugation, as we call it, the corrugation inside here, as we're gonna be knowing Buddha. Exactly. So we're just getting here to the roots of the maize fields here. Fantastic. So guys, in this area, that's why you heard about oh, they are talking about the guinea fowls are giving out some of the eggs here, but it's also intruding. Talk about the guinea fowls are coming to other people's properties here to disturb and eat some maize here, and he's talking about they are laying some of the eggs here. You cannot even cage them a little bit. So what is popping out at this kind of the point is whereby things are still boiling, whereby you understand and you knew how we are ever talking about that Rosioshi is back to this kind of an esquire for you can call it much of getting. We are tracing the road. We are tracing the road here. And Rosioshi is back to make sure that she's gaining much of the influence again. And I told you about it at first, whereby I said that the main aim of Rocio to come back, and she had to come back because the surprise that was given out as the Mercedes-Benz, it was for her, and Amaro couldn't survive because the pressure was so hot. The pressure is getting high, and that's how Amaro was told that he has to understand what's really popping out at that kind of an esquire, because he knows that things are rampant, because he cannot survive without Rocio, because they are doing something called a revenue collection and also donation collection, which is the obvious thing that it should be done. But there's another guy who is here. I don't know if he's uploading much of the videos, I don't know, but what I can say is at an artifact whereby there's a guy I cannot even have to talk much about that kind of the characteristic comprised person talking about he's called Steve J1. a very unique person ever in this kind of the world. But that's the survival value. Everybody understands that this is the survival value, and everything has to go on as far as everything is in concern. Back to the spot here to understand what's really popping out and what's really coming out at this kind of an estimate, and that is the nature. That is the nature, and we have to naturize it one-on-one. Fantastic. So to this kind of the point, let me say about it. We have seen the survival values of everybody in this kind of the village. Everybody understands this is the other person, this is the other guy, and for the real fact about one position to another position, everybody has to understand which kind of a strategy, which kind of the way we should be handling much of the matters from one position to another position. And to this kind of the caliber, right now the Mwango site is closed, and also Amaro is now installing much of the CCTV cameras to understand that I'm going to be tracking. It's not Gintu. Gintu doesn't have anything to do with you, and if they're just thinking about much of the intruders, they will look for me until the world is rotating. That is the fantastic model. I know they're just talking about, oh, you're going to be doing A, B, C, D. That's not my all poetry thing for me to do. At this kind of an artifact, already you have seen what is now trending from each and every kind of the position between into side of the villa, because Amaro himself, he has understood what's really popping out, at which kind of the rate is it popping out, because of what? Because one thing I told much of the people that there is a WhatsApp platform that was created, and it's just ongoing up to this kind of the time. This kind of the platform, it's in the WhatsApp group, whereby I've already tanglized to see how the chats were, because he has been pressurized to talk about can you get back Rocio, or things gonna be getting cruel, and he was being abused like a child. I understand it, and that is why much of the people think about they're gonna be honoring something which is not being honored at this kind of a way. Let me say this at this kind of the point. It's one thing that much of the people are ever back talk about, oh, I am there, I'm doing whatever, I'm doing what. Do you understand that even Amaro is answerable to the other people? That is it. Do you understand it? And do you know that Amaro himself is answerable daily, and he has to give out the verdict report about who and how they need him to occur, and they are ever framing him on what to do and how to dress. Do you understand it? Some people don't understand that Maro is controlled in a cycle. Much of the people talk about Freemason, whatever. It's not in some of that one. There's a group created that is sponsoring Maro in whatever he's going to be doing. It's like a presidential election. When you see much of the people are fighting for a presidential election or whatever they're going to be needing, you see much of the people flying outside to the UK, much of the people going to talk about to the Americans, much of the people going to the Europe. What are they going therefore? They are going to be interviewed with the bigger platform, the media platforms. Talk about what are they going to talk at that kind of the point. They are going to talk about what's their agendas and how they're going to be giving out. And if you give a good reason to this kind of the people who need you, so they can use you whenever you have a government. That is what is continuing at this kind of the point. Talk about Amaro Mawira. That is it. That is the big platform that much of the people should understand, that is being controlled on what to do at which kind of the expectation and how should it be done. Much of the people have never, and I've never told much of the people that way, because when he comes out and talks about I want us, do you know that Rocio was fixed? Do you know that one? Do you understand that people are planted to Amaro so as their agenda will be fulfilled? Do you understand that Amaro cannot do anything apart from, let me give you a small sample. When you see there's something going to be given out, like a charity or whatever, he has to call the people who are surrounding. Do you know when Gitiribas talk about when he just got a small misery or the petty issue with the truck? Do you know that Amaro called everybody, including Gitiriba's sponsors, and called about the team and he asked the team that please let me get out from Gitiriba, and that's why you saw he called even the Congress dad, and the Congress dad now came and now finished it. Gitiriba was chased and Gitiriba was abused into a full extent that even Amaro right now, whenever they're just with Gitiriba right now, is talking about you understood how the things are coming. He's just talking about you Gitiriba man, you are the one who is making this kind of the things. Sometimes listen, sometimes ABCD Gitiriba is now down like something else, and you will be like a puppet always. And that is the essence of being controlled in an ecosystem whereby you are like the fish in the fish pond. You cannot come out because there's nothing you can talk. He is the talkative. Let me say it. When everything is being controlled, because what I don't know if there are forces or some of the energies that he was given so as he can come and categorize in this kind of the village or implicatize this kind of the implements that are going to be coming out from each and every kind of the essence of the way. Talk about what you're going to be doing. He has to be above everybody, including everybody. Talk about from the plumbers. Talk about the first plumber. He was above, even controlling the plumber on what to do. And at the end, there was a misery. And he brought out somebody called Strongman 254. Still, there was a misery. Then he was having the first engineer, which was a misery. Then he brought another engineer called Amaro engineer, a misery too. And whenever you talk about all the people just doing here the March of the Works, they cannot complete, and you will never complete your work, and you will never stay in Amaro any kind of the way you think about, because of this kind of the sagas, because he's controlled on what to do at which kind of expectation. So whenever you see he's acting, don't be judgeable. Don't talk about, oh, this kind of the person, why is he acting this way? They are the ones who are planting drama for it to continue. Let me say it. There's this kind of the group controlled with much of the people. I'm going to be talking about who they are, and I know them because I was there when Amaro was being talking about. Let me say you a little bit of a hint. When during the night, have you ever understood that Amaro has to remove a shirt and remain with a short? That is rule number 1 before he sleeps. And what is it for? He always goes to the top, talk about at the top, first talk about at an enclosed area whereby there is a flat surface, talk about at the villa on top, which is the first floor. There's a place where much of the people sit, like you can call it a dining area. And always goes there with a laptop. And that's where Mugesi's channel was deleted from. Do you know that that's where the talk is always? Because I was there when all this kind of the talkings were to be held, and it was told that go out from Rocio. Rocio was left and to inside, and I was cooking. And at that particular moment, I can tell you how the things were moving. He has to come out so as he can just communicate with his own sponsors, so as to understand what's going to be done. Let me give you a hint. When Claude Joseph was to get a new plot, and it was terminated. Why was it terminated at that particular time? It was terminated because the Burundian traveler was constructing. Talk about it was in the construction of his own. Talk about his own house. At that specific point, I can say it verbally right now, because it was during that time. It was Kemi and Diana Kemi. It was Burundian traveler. There was another guy. It was Gake and Gitriva. They were the people who were in the focus during that time. And Ian at that point. But how the things were moving, they are the ones who are controlling. They understand who is next from who. So to this kind of the particular point, you understand that everybody was vanished, including Nasto was constructing during that time, and they were told, go down Nasto to finish, so as Brunda and Tava can follow, Kemi Klaus can follow, then they will purchase a plot for who? They'll purchase a plot for CJ, who is Claude Joseph. From that, now Gitriba could follow, then Gake could follow, and many more like Mawira still persisting and talking about you're going to be getting something from there. So what much of the people should understand up to this kind of the point is that there is a rule of law that is governing Maro on what to do, is being sponsored if he do whatever they need. I said about the government, when you want to start up a government and you are vying for this kind of the position of the presidential election, and you go to each and every kind of the country, you are being hosted with the very big people, very big companies, and they're going to be asking, if we support you and win, will you give us the manifesto that we're going to be needing you to do, or will you implement what we want you to implement, because they're the ones who will make it happen. So if you agree with terms and conditions, when the powers comes and you are elected as a president, they will be picking each and every kind of the position. Do you understand that one? So if you understand that catastrophic poetic thing, you can understand now how Amaro is uploading and how Amaro is being cutted as a cage, to understand that what they need him to do is what they have to do at this kind of an artifact. That is the responsibility. Let me tell you another thing. Do you know that Amaro was told that he has to go slow with the Mwango's construction, because already every point is sealed. No way, no route, no everything, because all the sponsors are talking about right now, they are in the Mwango. Whoever is starting right now construction from Amaro construction or Amaro verdict point, or talk about the puppets who are enclosed with Amaro, they're gonna not have anything to do, because right now they're talking about they're now getting back to Amaro grassroots. It's right now, it's the Mwango and David Jr. under construction only. Understand? Only. Because look at whoever is just doing it. Everybody is stuck at this point, because all the donations are directed to the Mwango and they're directed to David Jr. at this point. And much of the people are backward. They are just saying, nye, nye, nye. They are thinking about, oh, we're going to be leaking the buttocks. So as you can just talk about, oh, I can get a sponsor who's going to be doing it. That is a way as planned, because before Mwango could construct here her own D villa, talk about she was about to construct it in Mombasa. Get that as a statement. And from that kind of a prefix I talk about, get this, that she was controlled, including Amaro himself. Said that no, you cannot go and construct it the way you think about to Mombasa. Construct it home. And Amaro was controlled with the platform, including her. Do you know that they were in one live and they were chatting? There's a time Mwango had to come to the villa so they can talk about it. And they called the system and they talked about how do you wish it to be. And they just proposed Mwango to construct the house here. Do you know that all the proposal for everybody to construct, they are coming from the platform, the management. So when other people are just leaking some buttocks behind, do you understand that there is a platform that is controlling Maro before you come and talk about you're going to be peeping inside and getting much of the sponsorship? Get it. It's either you ask God very preciously and talk about, oh, my living God, please help me as this kind of the fantastic module so as I can get a good sponsor who can talk about, please, I have ever been checking you, I've been following you, I know you have this kind of a heart, which is a very conducive heart, and I want to support you fully from whatever you need, and I want you to go and ask for a plot in any kind of the space you need, whether at Amaro zone or in Nyabohanse town or wherever you need, whether expensive nor cheap. That is God coming in. But don't think about you can ever depend on Amaro that you're going to be having a sponsor. Look at Gake. He is left and is left like a vacant solution. Talk about he has been butylated, titrated, and hemoglyphically is now diluted with water in hemoglobin. So is now high wateroglobin. So there's nothing can ever do at this kind of the position. So is now coming back to beg, hey, please, can I go back to the same sponsors that you gave me? Amaro is a tricky person, and you have to understand it. That when he is being told, because even if for us to get out of the villa, we were being told that will not survive here. With the same team, talk about Satoni, talk about Janet Harris, they're the part of the team. You understand them. So if you have ever studied that kind of the poetic thing, you can understand what Gintu is talking about. So if you can get what Gintu is talking about, don't come out verbal talking about, oh, I'm going to Amaro, oh, I'm shining. Look at the other sausage girl. When she was walking is Look at her. She has stayed at Amaro because, let me give you a small of a synopsis. This is just a teaching a village report. Much of the people should get it because I have a quantitative details from A to Z, including before Amaro migrated to this kind of, and what made Amaro to migrate to his own house before it was complete. Do you know that there was a competition in their home whereby there was a competition between the Congrats dad and Amaro during the time of stay, during the maid-o phenotypic time whereby the maids are just walking very califragistically with much of the balancing of the nyash. That's how it brought much of the chaos. Everybody is eyeing like you are sitting but you're talking about here. Do you know that the Congrats dad eats more than 2 kgs off? Do you know that the Condad eats 2 kgs of baking flour whenever you have to make some chapatis? 2 kgs. Do you know that the Congrats that survives with chapatis? Somebody knows that one? He doesn't eat much of talking about, oh, rice, oh, ugali. No. He eats chapati. At most 15. That is breakfast, lunch, and supper. 5. And they have to do it. I think when much of the interruption entered to that kind of the squad team, when the Congrats mom was taken out from their home, it was much of the wrangles that why are the chapatis not made the way I need? Do you know that much of the maids are being just like safari rally? Do you know how to make chapatis? No. Do you know how to make chapatis? No. That is how it is, and that is the artifact that you have to understand from this certain position, and you have to get that as a point and get it very keenly, because when we say that this is how things are moving from one particular point to another particular point, you should understand How is things running? How are the things running from the ground? Much of the people are just waking up and talking about, oh, let me go to Amaro. Do you know that Amaro is controlled even to give much of the people a shout out? Do you know that it's controlled even to talk to much of the people? Do you know that it's controlled even to whom he will ever be speaking to? He'll think about it as a satanic person. But he's being controlled like something else. And that is the fact much of the people have to understand. That whatever you see is doing, it's a play. Let me say it. If you want to understand that Amaro is a dramatic person, how did it occur when the Mercedes-Benz was coming in and he knew, but he had to tell Lucio, leave? Amaro is trying himself to free himself, but he doesn't know how to free himself. Because it's a very, very hard thing to free yourself if you are captured in this estimation. Let me give out this kind of a verbal way. We understand there are so many people who have died, inclusively around Amaro here. Do you understand it? The owner of this plot is dead. The owner of that plot above Amaro there is dead. The person who sold the first plot, Amaro said that he's gonna be giving it out to a fan and planted there some of the epiculture, is dead. Do you know the Jamaican woman who brought the land besides Amaro there is dead? So do you have to commit? Do you know that the person who is at Percy's position here, talk about the husband to Percy, is dead and is enclosed to this kind of the chapter? Do you understand that there's something they talk about? They touch, whatever you touch, it dies. Have you ever heard about that one? There's this kind of a rhythm song from Jamaica that it sings about anything you touch surely dies. Oh, oh, oh. Somebody can sing about it. You can understand when I talk about it. So whatever is touched, completely is done. One aim, I told you, that how things are running. Do you know that our next person who was to be controlled was Mawira? And including Mawira was told, whenever he steps back to the villa, he will find it rough. And he did. When he came, we were demolishing on top of the villa. And he felt sick. Very, very sick. Even I took him to the hospital, including taking Rocio's motorbike, so as I could ride it as fast as possible. And during that time, Mawira was told not to drink water. That is just supportively in that kind of the villa. But even food, including food, he could eat it, but coming to sleep here. Do you understand that Amaro never understood it? But how the reaction is, Mawira was told that things are very crooked. And including right now, I'm just not understanding. When, let me talk about it. When the Mercedes-Benz came, do you know that Mawira came late? Around 8 p.m. He never knew that the Mercedes-Benz has come, including the day I was in the road construction, but he never came and he never appeared to the road construction, including the Jamaican uncle. They saw me and they turned back because they know they can find themselves into the internet without their own concession and without knowing that they are in the internet. So at that artifact, you have to come to the conclusion that still is just here to collect revenue only and leave. And we always give Amaro this kind of the verdict. He thinks about everybody surrounding him is the best. But what I'm telling him is they're the worstest people. What do I say so? Mawira is the one who is giving out much of the informations from inside the villa to the outside reactors nobody has ever known. Do you want to peep it? I can give you the reservoirs and I can give you who and where is it going. Go check much of the channels, including the reactors. They will tell you the history from each and every kind of the person, including the Virginia. How, talk about not even the Virginia, including Hello Baby, how he was chased when Amaro came and got Hello Baby in the Mwango's construction and told Hello Baby that told the Mwango that sister the Mwango, please, Diana, please, if you are associated with this kind of the boy, is not a good person, get him out of this kind of the site. Do you know that this kind of the boy in Ngurai called Hello Baby was chased from the Mwango site with Amaro, not even from the villa? Do you understand it? And how did the information leak whereby only Mawira was there and the Githiriba, they were there? Next point. I'm giving them a hit of the point so they can understand it. And they talk about, oh, how is Gintu coming to know this kind of the informations? You are the same people who are selling yourselves. Let me say another point here. When Chris Muniko, who was the guy who was supposedly to go to Hadzambe with a Jamaican uncle, but Jamaican uncle picked another boy and left Chris behind the scene and went to Hadzambe. And when Chris got him in Tarime, Tanzania, do you know that Jamaican uncle refunded back the money of the transport, and they had arranged it for several like a year so they could be going to Hadzambe. Do you know that it changed? When Chris came back, because he talked about you have not done it good because we had planned about going to Hadzambe. Do you know that when he came back to the villa, he was chased with David Jr., who entitled and give out this kind of the points. Mawira was there. Talk about Githiriba was not there. And much of, do you think that the brother to Congrats dad, who is the soldier or a gate man, is the one who is giving out this kind of the things? Do you understand that Amaro should understand that his own gates are having spoils? Let me say another point, and you should get it. Do you understand that when Ngutu was chased 3 times from the Mwango site, and the Mwango meeting Ngutu at the gate, and also Ngutu was chased inside the villa? Who knew it? Mawira was inside. Use your brain sometimes. Sometimes get Gintu to go and excavate much of the pinpointment, and I give you the verdict. Also, do you understand that Githiriba is also giving out much of the points outside, to giving to much of the people who are besides, and talking about how it's gonna be? And Amaro doesn't understand that the same people you are with, talking about I have put them at my own tides, they're the ones who are eating you from behind. You have to understand that ecological metaphor I have used there. So, and to this kind of the factual. So what is just there is much of the people, they don't understand that whenever you see somebody is leaking behind or leaking the buttocks behind of somebody, it means that there's something that is cooking or there's something special. At that point, what happened to Mayugno? Mayugno is no longer into the system. He was catalyzed out. He was kicked out like a platform. He was kicked out as talk about as an ejaculation. It was kicked out like a safari rally. That is the pinpointment you have to understand. And this artifact, right now, much of the sponsors have come back to Amaro. They have to understand it from this point, that they have been humiliated, they have been confused, they have been manipulated. And the same Amaro team is manipulating themselves and manipulating these stupid YouTubers who don't understand themselves, and they're just using them in an artifact of kicking some of them out, meaning that they will not chase you direct. It's only that Amaro, you can understand the live that Amaro said. And I told him when he came to, I went to the road construction, and I asked me that why are you eating me legs? I asked him, between me and you, who is eating who legs? And he never came out with a verdict point. What do I mean at a verdict point? He never came out clearly to talk about how was it, even if much of the people watched that kind of the video. I understand. I was having 4,000 subscribers. Right now, I'm approaching 9,000. It means that much of the people who are right now in, they have never listened to that kind of the video, how we were chased out and we were told much of the people should unsubscribe and never watch us fully. So at that artifact, he was talking about who is next? Who is next, guys? Who is next? Oh, yeah, start with Mogesi. Yeah, Mogesi, nye. Who is next, guys? Rocio, baby, put us back with the music. And the music was in Argentinian music, eh? And it was ringing like something like a karaoke. And it was just popping, and the Amaro was just shaking the nyash, and the cucumber was shaking in front of the camera. Who is next? Who is next, guys? Yes, say Gintu. Now he came to Gintu and he roasted me, and at the fact that I'm not intimidated nor interfactionally understood or underestimated or underestimated at this kind of the metaphor, because I know Amaro until whatever he eats and what he consumes, I know. Up to date, I can show you which kind of the draws is putting each and every kind of the essentials you're gonna be using. So you have to understand how the platform is. So when I am updating much of the people to understand that this YouTube platform, it's for the shortest, it's for the less, and it's not for the less fortune. It's for the people who have gathered specific informations from A, B, C to D, whereby you cannot get an artifact if you think about going to be entering. Let me give an advice to this kind of the young generation. They talk about, yeah, I've gone to Amaro, tomorrow I'll be sponsored, tomorrow I'll get this kind of the platform. It's totally changing. Look at the people, how they started. Look at how many people started the Amaro and where are they right now. You have to understand, and when you are out of Amaro, you will be successful. Understand it. You will be successful. And this is a cage. This is a cage zone called the Villa Cage Zone. If you want to understand that is a cage, just come and talk about, oh, I got a shout out. My friend, mess up. You will come to understand that audience is not yours, it's for Maro. The day you will get a defect that you are talking about Amaro or ABCD, you will get a lecture that will never understand that that is Maro who told you that you can come to my home, you are fully welcomed. Whenever you will come and find Rocio at the gate, and you will tell her what you are there for. Ask Isa Farmer, up to date, have you ever seen Isa Farmer to this kind of the villa? He was the one who started something called Kitchen Garden. He was the one who supported the kitchen garden until the party was over. And when he went for an off and came back, he was told an appointment. Including during that time, a congressman came to pick some of the greens from here for as they can just go and cook. Do you know that Rocio was very mad, including was about to face Maro one-on-one for nyade, nyade. Do you understand it? If you understand, you can get it. Do you understand that Amaro was told that I don't like... Do you want me to imitate how Rocio was? Let me tell you. Rocio was on top of the villa, peeping from her window of the bedroom. Because the bedroom has a little bit of a balcony outside. And she was ever sitting there in a red chair. Trust me, a red chair and a yellow chair. There were two chairs there, yellow and red. They were the plastic ones. So she was ever, the yellow chair was for Amaro, the red one was for Rocio. I don't know if it was engagement. Talk about the love was still brand new. They were formulating that kind of the love, the red. You can understand what I talk about. Then she peeped out. Amaro was not around. Amaro had gone to look for this kind of the petty issues outside here. Talk about go and maneuver outside, because also he has to go and look for some 2-3 nyashes and see how the people are just bouncing with some of the nyashes. He's always talking about how Rocio is a little bit, you understand how Rocio is. I cannot talk about how the area is exposed and how the things are. Sometimes that's why you see much of the people talk about, oh, let me go for an outing and let me get my husband to an outing, let me get my wife to an outing. So as you can just go with her, but looking for other small and or talk about petite Latina, whatever nyashes, they're going to be popping out. You understand that kind of an statement. So when Rocio peeped out and looked at the congressman, sent much of talk about this kind of the ladies, the maids who are doing the work at congressman's position at home, and they sent this kind of the ladies to come and pluck. Then the congressman came after them, and they came and plucked, and they left. When they left, Rocio was very mad. She was crying inside her own and talked about, no, this is not what I need. She came out while she was red. You'll think about she's a metal that was being burnt in a very good, fantastic charcoal, and she was very hot-redded. And when she came out, she could not even talk. Where is Maro? Where is Maro? I don't like this one. The mother, your Maro, your mother is making a mess. I don't want it. I don't know. She's now becoming too much. She's going and plucking my own. And at the same time, she had chased Isa Farmer out. Now it was Isa Farmer's talking. Let it happen, because that is the way forward for when you want to understand how the property is. So you have to understand that the gauge, talk about even Amaro was forced to call the congressman. Do you understand it? Let me say it. When the ladies were stopped, talking about who sent you to come and pluck this kind of the greens from the villa. They said that, oh, the congrats mom found the call from the school and sent her. That was the second day when now things were now rampant. Even they were about to just pour down those kind of the greens. And now she was very mad, and she was wearing like a bikini, talk about a jeans bikini, eh? I don't know how you can call it. It is having some of the races, eh? And a very small one. She ever liked it, and whenever she comes out now, she wants to show how she's bright, eh? And she was now giving us some appetite. We are now sitting at the kitchen there, me, Mugesi, and Nesto. We are peeping. Hey, she's very bright. Amuzungu. We are Amuzungu. We are even talking about, hey, my living God, how this kind of the things coming. Even me, one day I'll ever marry Amuzungu. But when I came to understand the habit, woo, Jesus is Lord. So that is how the things are coming. Not that the Mzungus are bad, but the artifact is one. We see from one character. So if one character is reflecting this way, we have to understand that, oh, many of the characters are that way. And the real fact is one. Talk about when now they stop this kind of, they talked about, we have found the call from the Congress mom has found the call from the school, and she said that we come and pluck much of the pigweeds from here and take them home. Much of the people call them kalalu, to the Japan, talk about to this kind of the Jamaican guys, kalalu, and they came and plucked it and they went back. And what came back from there? They said that, do you know that Amaro picked the phone and found the mother? Imagine. And the mother was off and said that when she will pick it, I'll tell her mom, let it go. And I'll just warn them not to come back. Hey, Muschana, don't come back here. Those kind of no. That is how he said it. So at an artifact, you have to understand that everything is estimated the way it should go. And the real fact, my time is getting off from here. As you understand that we are giving out the village report and everything. The stories have become so fantastic. If you want much of the stories, make it happen, because the stories are at my head, not copying from each and every. Some of the things we never get them from anyone, from its underscore Ginto only, and that is the way I talk about. We shall be together and make it happen. So at this kind of the point, I can talk about everything is very awesome. Yeah, the kitchen garden is there. I'm not interested of filming whatever inside there. They think about, oh, Ginto gonna be coming and filming ABCD. I'm not interested with that one. And the artifact is I have my own things to talk about, and also pinpoint what has to be spoken and how it's gonna be. So at the internet, a person who is bringing the problems, even Amaro is wondering, why is this kind of the team manifesting me and giving me this kind of substance called Rocio here, so as she is contradicting with my own statement. You understand that Amaro right now is feeling like he can pee. He's feeling like Rocio is not the good person. My friend, I'm telling you, if you are controlled, conditions, I'm very, very sorry for the people who are conditioned, because you have to do what they want. Even he was forced to go to Nairobi. How much does it cost? Go to Nairobi, pick them back home, and including make sure that you are apologizing yourself and giving her the best talk about conjugal rights that are needed, because right now she's fresh, fantastic, very nice for it to happen. Let's go back to the system. Yeah, so guys, as far as everything is concerned, that is the epilogenic thing that we have to understand, and knows how are they uploading, how are they coming, and how the things are just running from each and every kind of the assessment. These are the purpose that Mogesi planted inside here, and it was not given money. And when Mogesi complained that you never give us money, the villa of slaves, Maro came out and talked about how is it a slave. And I'm telling you, here, only the strong one survives. Only if you are reggae, a person of postquams, interquams, you are left vacant. And I'm telling you, things are different outside here. So the good fact is everybody should understand that when you are a celebrity, my friend, I'm not the one who sent him to be a celebrity. For Gintu to come and talk about ABCD, you have to understand it. That if God has chosen you to be a celebrity, still people are sitting in this tree. I'm just worried. People are suffering whenever it comes to getting themselves in this kind of the estimate. That is the fact. And the real estimate of the mood is let's gather much of the pinpointment and make it happen. Let it be. And whatever much of the people are talking about, oh, it's gonna be air. Woo! Ding, ding. Let it go the way it's gonna be. But everything is so fantastic as we just end up this kind of the video from this kind of the platform. And I say thank you very much everyone who has been watching and liking, sharing, and talking about this is the module and getting forward, because here we are, we stuck. I see much of the CCTV cameras are being installed, and also the Wi-Fi's, because the villa was not having any kind of the Wi-Fi. That's the fantastic module. So we're gonna be ending up, and everything gonna be coming to you live, which is one-on-one. Keep it tuned, keep it locked. Back again to the center, and the epi top of the center, and making it happen is the fantastic module. So keep it tuned. Back again to the statement, and this is the end. Marab.